Sainristil was the 50th pick in the draft. Washington took him out of Michigan, and he's kind enough to give us a few minutes here. We have had all kinds of Michigan fans calling in the last few days to tell us how awesome Mikey Sainristil is. So, Mikey, congratulations. Thank you for the time, and welcome to D.C.
Man, I'm doing great. I appreciate it. Appreciate the intro. It was great to call myself a commander. Just excited to, be a part of the program, be a piece of the puzzle. I'm super excited for what, Adam Peters and Coach Quinn have set out for, the future of this team. And it's just a blessing to be a part of. It's an honor to be drafted. I can't say thank you to them enough for selecting me as one of the guys they brought into the class this year. So I'm excited to get things going.
It's always so interesting to us how the pre-draft process works, right? Were they secretive? Did you kind of have an idea that they were fans of yours? Like, how did that go? Walk me through it.
So I met with them the night before my pro day, and that was really the last I had heard from them. The meeting went really well. I felt that they liked me. I liked them a lot. Other than that, we hadn't spoke up until the phone call I got April 26th.
Wow. So you didn't take a 30 visit with them?
No, I did not take any visit. Nope.
So it sounds like you liked the meeting plenty, but did you have them on your radar? Were there like teams that you were expecting to be drafted by? Were they one of them? How did that work?
No, they actually were not one of them. My agent and I never discussed that the Commanders were going to be one of the teams that, might take me. So when it came to pick 47, I knew that the Steelers really wanted me at 51. And so when I was getting the phone call, I saw it was a Virginia area code. I didn't know if one of the coaches from the Steelers had a Virginia area code. But when I picked up, I heard it's Adam Peters. And I was like, oh, wait, like, this is, what I'm saying? Like, this is the Commanders. It was definitely very surprising. But again, I was happy to hear who it was because the last we had spoke, we had a really good conversation. And, I felt like I was going into a very good situation with, Adam Peters and Coach Quinn being the head coach, and just everything about, being here feels right. So
what do you think your role?
That's how it went for me.
Sorry, Mike, I didn't interrupt you there. What do you think your role is going to be coming into this year? What do you think you're able to do, kind of hitting the ground running, and where do you think you fit in on this defense?
I believe that, Coach Quinn is going to probably use me a lot how he used Jordan Lewis when he was spending time with the Cowboys. Being nickel. I'm not sure how much they're going to want me to move around to corner and safety, but I know definitely primarily nickel. And then from a team standpoint, they're going to expect me to bring the leadership aspect that I have. Coming from Michigan, being a two-time captain, they're going to expect certain things out of me. And, I'm ready to do exactly that, do exactly what's needed of me, do whatever they ask of me as well. In all situations is going to be, putting the team first for me. And, I believe that, my success is going to come from the team being successful. So whatever that looks like, whatever role I have to play, whatever they ask of me, I'm going to do. But, for me, I think those are the things that they're going to, be looking for right away.
Mikey Sainristil was the heart and soul of the national championship winning Michigan Wolverines this past season. He was born in Haiti, speaks Creole, moved here when he was a couple months old with his family. And I had read that I think it was your father was in radio like us. He worked in radio when you guys moved to Boston. Was that right? What did he do?
Yeah, he does do radio. He still does do radio. He was more so on the journalist side when he was in Haiti, but now he does more radio for it's called Echo Evangelic. It's a radio outlet for church in Boston that he does.
And is he
very, very, very interesting work that he does for them.
Is he on air?
Yeah, he is on there. He also does acting. He plays in some Haitian movies.
That's awesome. Like he's been in movies and stuff. He's got like an IMDb page and things.
It's not necessarily like my church used to do this thing where they did plays, and so they advanced into turning the plays into actual movies.
Oh wow!
Kind of like how Tyler Perry does, where he has his plays that are also movies. They kind of something like that, similar. So yeah, he's in those though. He's in those.
So, Mike, we've had several Michigan fans call us after you got drafted, and they basically made you sound like a folk hero. It's like, Mike, he intercepted 7 passes on one play one time, and he had like 58 tackles for loss, and he ate like a giant party cell ball by himself, and he knocked a tree down with a karate chop. You're like an urban legend to these guys. Why do you think that love affair existed to such a high degree between you and the Michigan fans?
I feel like because they were fans of us, but I was fans of them as well. I'm very appreciative of our fans from Michigan. They're great people. They support us. They supported us through the bad. They supported us through the good, and they stuck it out all the way up until we won the national championship. And they're still there, rooting for the next team coming up. I love our fans. I think it's definitely a two-way street when it comes to them. They support us. We support them. We want them to be at our events loud and proud and just showing up and showing out. And when they do, we go out there and play. And to us, we take on this like heroic aspect because the game of football definitely brings life to people. And so I can go out there and perform my best. I know somebody in the stands is going to be happy coming to watch myself play along with a group of another long list of great guys that I play next to. So for me, it's just I enjoy doing what I love, and they come to watch me do what I love. So of course I have to give them a show. You know what I mean?
Mike Sainristil, Michigan Wolverines, first-team All-American this year, second-team All-Big Ten, led his club in passes defended, interceptions, had a couple pick sixes, and as I said, he was a captain. When I hear people talk about you as being, and this is what I was told, like one of the best leaders in all of college football, one of the real alphas in any locker room, where does that come from? And why do you think that you're able to elevate in that way when you get around other guys who have been leaders in other locker rooms, that you're kind of the guy that rises to the top?
Yeah, so, like I said, I have no problem being, in the front of the group. I can lead from the front. I have no problem, being the guy that leads from the back as well. And I have no problem being the guy that doesn't talk at all and just does action after action. But again, like I said, I think people just naturally gravitate towards the type of person I am. And so, it puts me in a position where I do have to lead, where there's guys who, you walk across the football team. Some guys are bigger than others. I'm leading linemen, I'm leading skill position, I'm leading, whatever it is. But I also know how to lead amongst a group of leaders. So I'm open to, listening to other leaders. I'm open to being held accountable by other people, even people who aren't leaders. I'm open to being held accountable. And the biggest thing for me is I'm never going to ask anyone to do something that I wouldn't ask for myself to do. So I think, when people see that from me, it allows myself to lead easier and, just be myself.
Who are some of the guys that you grew up watching that you maybe pat in your game after a little bit? Who are some of your football heroes?
So, I grew up more of an offensive guy. I always used to watch Tavon Austin highlights before every game. He was my favorite football player. And then as I made my transition to defense, I began watching guys like Mike Hilton, Kenny Moore, Taron Johnson, Tyrann Mathieu, just guys similar to, my body type and, height, weight, and then just seeing how they play the game, how they play fast, how they play physical, how they get off blocks, how they blitz, just everything about them, just so I could add it in and, add it to my toolbox and just take away from them so I could take away what they do and add it into what I do just to, be more versatile when it comes to playing the position.
Going back to the offensive side of the ball, but there might be some people listening that don't know you were a receiver initially. And in fact, Adam Peters in his press conference after the draft talked about when they saw you at the pro day, I guess you were running routes for JJ maybe. If that's true, tell me why that was. But he basically said that you were maybe the best route runner of all the receivers out there, including a guy that got drafted pretty high.
Yeah. For me, I kind of told JJ, 2 days before pro day that I was going to run routes. Really, it was just the fact that, pro day might be the last time I run routes. Why not do it? Why not go out there, have fun, and compete with the actual receivers? But, I definitely still think I could play receiver if it was needed. So for me, it was just the fact that, one, I wanted to compete, have fun, enjoy my pro day, but also, remind people I still do this. like I'm still a receiver. So, you know, I just went out there and did it.
What's your favorite interception of your life?
The one, it has to be the one in the national championship.
And I was going to say, you take that one back a long way, too. In a national title game against Penix, probably going to be at the top of the list.
Yeah, definitely.
I get that as a 1 seed. So is that your favorite thing to do on the field? Is to pick a pass off, or is there something that you know that's maybe a little grimier, like a run fit or coming up taking on a block, or something like that maybe aren't as sexy to us fans?
Yeah, I'll give you 2 examples. First example would be the big hit I had on Travion Henderson, Ohio State. I love making plays like that. Knockout shots. That's just football to me. You know what I mean? When you turn on tape from back then, this guy's getting knocked out. I mean, not that I knocked him out, but you know what I mean? Like big hits was all over the field, and I just love that style of football. The second one would be in the national championship. Jalen McMillan ran a screen out the backfield. I came up. I reduced my shoulder on the lineman, and I made the tackle on the third down that if I probably got blocked, would have been a first down. He probably would have gained more after he got the first. So just plays like those where, you show your skill set in more ways than just being able to, make an interception. Because, something like the interception to me, I believe is more natural. I, grew up playing receiver, so I think that should be easy for me as opposed to, being able to get off blocks, being a guy who's been playing defense for 2 years, showing that I could tackle. I enjoy, doing those things. Sometimes, making interceptions is cool. It's highlights, but I like making those other highlight plays as well.
Mikey Sainristil of Michigan, now with the Commanders on G&D here on The Fan. Couple of moments left with him. You mentioned playing in the slot as a nickel primarily, probably. Can you also play outside on the boundary, and do you expect to do any of that for them? Is that something that how much of that did you do at Michigan, and how big a part of your game is that?
They haven't really discussed that with me yet, but I did do a significant amount of it this year. I'm comfortable there. To me, the more you learn as a defender, whether, I play nickel, but I know safety, I know corner. I think that helps me out because I get to learn the whole concept as opposed to just a single position where I put myself in a box. And then just knowing every position, I think just helps you play faster as well. So, if it's needed of me, if they ask me to learn the position, I'm going to learn it regardless. But, I'm going to learn it just so if I'm needed there, I can go play at that position very comfortably. So
I got to imagine as a DB, it's super exciting to get to hear your name called by a team with Dan Quinn and Joe Witt. They've had 2 of the last 3 interceptions leaders in the league by season. You look at just a list of guys, whether it's all the way back to Seattle and the Legion of Boom, what they've done in Dallas now more recently. There are very few guys with the resume that Quinn has in terms of developing players in the secondary.
Yeah, no, and that's what excites me the most. Just, understanding I have the opportunity to play for a guy like, Coach Quinn. It excites me a lot. And, I'm a guy that's only been playing defense for 2 years. So I know there's a lot of room to grow. And, who else would help me out more than Coach Quinn, knowing that he has the resume he has. So I'm just super excited to be coached by him and the rest of the coaches on the staff because it's a great group of guys and it just fires me up.
Mikey, what's your hidden talent?
My hidden talent. I think my hidden talent might be that I could be on a radio show, kind of like you guys are doing right now.
There you go. Play analyst, follow your pops a little bit. I like that. What's the last TV show that you binged?
The last TV. So I'm currently binge watching Blacklist right now.
Okay. Is that Netflix? Where is that?
So it's on Netflix now, right? It started to air on NBC. Now it's on Netflix.
Yep.
Who's your favorite actor?
My favorite actor, Denzel.
Me too. Equalizer. Yeah. I hope they make 80 Equalizers, by the way.
They just keep equalizing?
Yeah, he's elite.
So good.
In all areas.
What is your eating contest food? The food you could eat the most of in one sitting?
The food I could eat the most. I mean, I definitely could knock out a box of pizza. So I don't think I've ate more than 8 slices of pizza in one sitting.
It's pretty good.
But I know I could eat 8 slices.
Favorite superhero?
My favorite superhero, Frozone.
Who was it?
Frozone, Incredible.
From Incredibles.
Is he considered a superhero?
Yeah, right. He's got abilities. I mean, he can freeze stuff.
Yeah.
I just didn't see Incredibles coming.
I did not see that.
That's pretty strong. You didn't go Avengers on me.
If you had a superpower, what would you pick?
If I had a superpower, what would I pick? I definitely wouldn't say not the ability to predict because I think I feel like I know too much if I could predict everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But if I could stop time in the situation of something bad about to happen, I would do that and like just kind of put everything in the right place and then resume it, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. A little time stop. I love that.
Mikey, we appreciate the time, man. Best of luck. We're pumped you're a commander. Thank you
pal.
for hopping aboard.
Yeah, appreciate you guys for having me again. Super excited to potentially get back on here. Who knows? But thank you.
Appreciate it, man. We'll definitely get you back. Be good, bud.
Thanks, man.
All right. Yep.